Hi, welcome to Columbus State Community College. My name is Chef Fernando Mojica. I am with the Columbus State Community College Hospitality Programs. Welcome to our culinary theater. Today we're going to show you a quick vegetarian dish. We do have a few different vegetables here. Very easy to do, very easy to get through. It doesn't really take a lot of time. So we're going to do a spring vegetable fricassee. So what a fricassee is a shallow stew, which is normally done with some sort of protein, a chicken, a veal, very similar to a veal blanquette. But today we're going to use vegetables, right? So the vegetables that we have, we're going to need about an ounce or so, 1 ounce and a half of butter. This is room temperature butter. We dice it into smaller bites. We have about an ounce of shallots, and we cut this into a thin julienne. We have about an ounce of garlic. We mince these, so we shall cut them real fine. We have about 2 to 3 ounces of sliced shiitake mushrooms, and we have about another ounce and a half, 2 ounces of cream mini mushrooms. So we will actually also slice these here in a minute as the vegetable is cooking. We have a couple of ounces of carrots. Now we blanch these carrots. We cut them into long bite-sized pieces. Just about an inch or so in length and about a quarter of an inch in thick, maybe a half an inch thick. But you want them longer shapes. We also have asparagus, right? Now these are jumbo asparagus. We also blanch these, but before we did that, we actually peeled the asparagus. Now you will ask, well, why do you peel the asparagus, right? So the outside of the asparagus is contains a lot of fiber, and so when you have those jumbo asparagus that are a little nicer, they're a little bigger, they are a little bit more forgiving when you're working with them. That outside is going to be very woody when you bite it. So it's all made out of fiber, so it's a little bit unpleasant to eat. So I like to peel my jumbo asparagus. So we peel them to just get to the actual core of the asparagus. We blanch them in water and cut them into, again, long bite-sized pieces, about an inch or so. We have about 2 ounces of white wine. Now, certainly you don't have to use white wine. This is an optional, but I just like to use it. It will not, if you don't have it, it will not affect the flavor of the dish. Certainly you can add lime juice or lemon juice if you don't want to use the wine. A couple of ounces of heavy cream, and we have a little bit of chopped chives and a little bit of chopped parsley to complement the dish at the end. We're going to serve these with a little bit of rice that we made earlier, just a classic rice pilaf. 1 part rice, 2 parts liquid. Cook it for about 17 to 20 minutes, and then keep it warm. So very simple. So we're going to go ahead and get our butter over a low heat, and we're going to let this melt over a low heat. Okay. Want to make sure that it doesn't smoke. You want to make sure that it doesn't start to burn. So while we do that, we're going to go ahead and slice these mushrooms. Like I said, you want to go about a quarter of an inch or so. We did took the stems off before we brought them in here. So just certainly you can leave the stems on if you want. You don't have to remove them, but just for presentation purposes, I like to remove them. But once we have these done, we are going to start adding the mushrooms into the butter, and we're going to cook these for just about 5 minutes or so. You want them to start developing some softness to it, but you don't want them to pick up any color. So we're going to start with these, add the rest of the mushrooms here. And then we're going to let this cook, like I said, for about 5 minutes or so. All right, so these are starting to get nice and soft. We're going to add the rest of the vegetables, the carrots, and the asparagus. We're also going to let this cook for about 5 minutes or so. Remember, these are already blanched, so you do not want to overcook these. You just want to bring them up to temperature, let them soften up just a little bit. So again, about 5 minutes or so. And then we're going to add the shallots and the garlic after that. Okay, so ready to go. We're gonna add our shallots and our garlic here, and the reason we add this at the end is because by the time the vegetables are going to be cooked, if you add the shallots at the beginning, those are going to start burning on you, and you certainly don't want that. So We're going to stir them around, continue to move them around. This is going to take maybe another 5 minutes or so, low heat. You want to carry these until the vegetables are completely cooked through, completely warm all the way up, and the shallots and the garlic are nice and translucent and starting to get caramelized. All right, so now that the vegetables are almost there, we're going to add the wine, and then we're going to, at this point, we're going to remove them from the flame. We're going to cover these with a little bit of plastic and foil, and then we'll bring them back into the flame at a low flame. Cook them until all the vegetables start to release liquid. So this is going to take maybe about 4 minutes or so, and after that we'll be ready to make our sauce. All right, so we cover these. We use plastic and foil to cover these and cook them. You can use a lid, right? So if you don't have to go out and get plastic and foil, so you can certainly use a lid to cover it. But the important part is to keep it covered so that as you cook, the condensation of the liquids fall right back into the pan, and they will start incorporating some more flavor into it rather than evaporating. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to take our heavy cream, and we are going to add a little bit of heavy cream into these, right? This is going to be the beginning of our sauce. So at this point, you do not want to boil the cream, right? You want to have a low heat and start to have the cream to simmer lightly, but don't you don't want it to boil, right? So we'll add that, add a little bit of. All right, so we're gonna start adding a little bit of butter here. The important part here is that you want this to be over low heat. You're gonna start creating what's called an emulsion, right, to make your sauce. Now, if you bring this up to a boil, if you let it boil again, that emulsion is gonna break on you, and you don't want that, right? You want the butter to be incorporated into the cream to be able to create that sauce, right? So once we have our butter here, this was just about an ounce or so of butter. So we'll add our butter here, finish adding that up, and as this is melting and creating that emulsion, we're gonna take our herbs, we're gonna toss them right in here, and we're going to sprinkle them on a pan, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna toss the vegetables into it to bring all those flavors together, bring all that nice flavor, nice color, vibrant colors into it. So that's it, right? Very simple. Again, spring vegetable fricassee, super simple to make, doesn't take very much time, doesn't take a lot of ingredients to do. We're gonna go ahead and serve these now with a little bit of rice that we made just a minute ago. All right, so for plate up, super simple, right? We're just gonna serve with a little bit of rice. Like I said, we cooked this earlier this morning. Very simple, just a little bit of white rice, a little bit of shallots in here. 1 part rice, 2 parts, we use chicken stock here, but 1 part rice, 2 parts chicken stock. You can certainly use vegetable stock if you wanted to, but very simple to make. So we'll put our fricassee here, and I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Again, very simple, but a lot of flavors, a lot of strong flavors from the vegetables. So I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for joining us.
Hi, my name is Rayleigh Harper with the School of Hospitality Management and Culinary Arts at Columbus State Community College. We hope you're enjoying our new YouTube channel and would love for you to subscribe to see more videos and chef demonstrations. Also, please visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Lastly, you can visit cscc.edu, the Hospitality Department page, if you would like to learn more information about our programs and our school.